Hi, Happy New Year. This is Michael Masterson. Welcome to my office. This is where I work every day, and I thought you'd be interested in seeing what I do to set goals and follow them every year. This is literally the sheets I use. I don't know if you can see these. These are my goal setting sheets. I write these down at the end of every year for the next year. This is the goals for 2008. As you can see, there are I have 2 pages of them. And some of them are highlighted in yellow, and the things that are highlighted in yellow are those things that are most important to me. When I decide what's most important to me, I use that trick of figuring out what is going to be important to me 5 years from now or 10 years from now, or longer term goals. And so that's what I do. I list all the goals I want to do, and the things that are top priority I highlight. And that gives me my yearly goals. And then over here, you can see this is for the month of June. I list all the specific objectives that I want to do for June, and you can see that again there are some yellow highlighted items, and you can see in June most of these have been crossed out because I was able to accomplish those specific objectives in June. Here's something. Edit the last 3 chapters of Multi-Channel. That's the book that Mary Ellen and I just published. So in June I was trying to finish up on that, and then once I get the monthly done and checked off, I go right to the weekly at the beginning of every week. But they're more specific each time. When you go from annual to monthly to weekly, the tasks become more specific. Like this might be edit 1,500 words or 1 chapter of that book rather than 3 chapters, something that's more doable in that time span. And then I go down to the daily list, and here again you've got some items that are highlighted and some that are not. One thing I like to do is I have these little columns here, and over here when I set out my daily tasks, I estimate how much time it's going to take me, and then over here on the left hand margin I write in how much time it actually took. This was very helpful in the beginning because I always underestimated or overestimated what the time it would take me to do certain projects. So doing it this way, I eventually got to be a better predictor of how much time it would take. So I didn't set too many tasks that I couldn't keep during the day. And then over here, sometimes I make little notes about tasks that I want to delegate to other people. So it's very simple. I liked using this handwritten system better than the computer because I just felt there was something about the tactileness of it, the writing it down in different colors that I enjoyed. But last year, I've had a little bit of trouble with my thumbs. I have this degenerative arthritic condition that makes it hard for me to write now. So I've been using the computer, but the computer system is pretty much the same thing. I just basically replicate this exact thing on the computer with the different colors and so on, and it seems to work very well. So anyway, you guys have heard a lot about this. It's very simple. I just wanted to show you how I do it right here. The main thing is just doing it every day and keeping up with it, because I do follow it. I mean, it's made a giant difference in my life, and I haven't crossed these off because most of these I've accomplished, the 2008 goals here, but I haven't yet crossed them off because I only cross them off about every 3 or 4 months, and it's a day it's a day when I get a lot of pleasure out of Xing all those items out that I've wanted to achieve for that year. So that's one thing. I just wanted to show you one more thing that I do, which has been helpful. Again, this is kind of an old-fashioned paper system, but you can do the same thing with a computer, and this is how I keep track of appointments and so on. If I'm on the computer and I have somebody sends me a printout, and it could be a performance chart or whatever, and I know that later on I'm going to have a follow-up on it. What I'll do is I'll put it in my calendar, a note to have a meeting on that, and then I'll print out the item, whatever it is, right here into my computer, and then on top of it I'll usually mark the date that I want to have the follow-up, and it could be a specific date that I've already assigned, like a meeting, or it could be just that I know I want to look at this again in a month so I don't forget about it. So if it's a month or 2 off, I just have two little pendiflexes. You can buy them anywhere. This is by the month, and so I would file it in the appropriate month, and then it's just this just goes from January to December. It's just a monthly pendiflex, and then every month I'll take all the sheets out of that, and then I'll put them into this daily pendiflex. This has it's separated by numbers 1 to 31. So depending on when I want to bring it out, I just put that sorted through here, so that I actually have a physical copy of whatever it is I wanted to discuss or follow up on. And then all I have to do every day is look in that day's slot and pull it out and put it into my inbox. And that's, well, right now we've got cigars in my inbox and presents for my wife's birthday. But this is, the sheets are there, and I just go through them very quickly. So that's a little bit of what I do in my office. I can also tell you that I spend a lot of time reading here, as you know, and researching. That's key to good copy, good advertising. And here's some books I could recommend to you. These are good, and of course I'll recommend these. This is a classic Ogilvy on advertising and Confessions of an Advertising Man. Both of these are must-reads if you haven't read them. You can read them again and again. This book I talked about very recently by Chris Anderson about the long tail, about the effect that the internet is having on business. I think it's a very interesting book. I recommend it to you strongly. Then this is the Complete Idiot's Guide to Direct Marketing. If you haven't gotten this yet, you should get it. This is by Bob Bly, our colleague Bob Bly. He always writes great books and writes many of them. Here's another one by Bob Bly called The Copywriter's Handbook, which is for step-by-step guide to writing copy that sells. So all these things are good. And don't forget, of course, Changing the Channel, the book that Mary Ellen and I just wrote. It's I think the best current text out there on multi-channel marketing, which is what you're going to be doing in the years ahead of us in terms to power up your company. And then if you are just getting started, Ready, Fire, Aim, the book I wrote about how to start a business from nothing and grow it to a $100 million business. So those are all things I'd recommend for you to do and enjoy in 2008. And I hope you enjoyed this little visit to my office, and see you next year. Bye.